Where's Gabby? Gabby Gordon. Gabby, you out there?
What?
There's Gabby. Why don't you
What's
introduce
going?
yourself?
What?
Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little intro about your project.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Gabby Gordon. And my thesis was called Synergy. It's basically a prototype for an app that combines music and photography. It generates playlists for its users based on their reactions to photography. All of the photos that I used were one pieces. Um, Yeah, I guess it goes back to the fact that I've grown up with a camera in my hand my whole life and headphones in my ears. So I decided to take my other favorite things and combine them with my favorite type of design, UI.
UI UX. Yeah. Do you want to explain what UI UX is to some of the audience? They might not know what those.
User interface, user experience design. So half the battle was designing the interface for the app, and the other half was designing the experience that they'd have while using it.
All right. And so I feel like we should talk about music. I mean, you've made many references to your love of particularly rock and roll music or something a little harder edge. I mean, should we just have this whole conversation just all be about 70s and 80s rock bands? Do you want to invite your parents to talk about that?
Oh, well, my parents are watching. Thanks for giving me a metalhead. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows me well knows that that is really what makes me who I am. Oh, I see Brittany's comment about A Day to Remember. Yes, I went to many shows with Brittany Duquette, so shout out to her.
Brittany graduated last year. So
Yes, you're on AIGA together, along with Emma and Gina.
okay. And so you don't have a band T-shirt on tonight?
No, I decided to, wear a little less black than usual, but basically my entire quarantine wardrobe has been wearing my band shirts. I probably have close to 40 at this point. So it's something that I collect because my parents taught me if you go to a show and you don't buy a shirt, you're a poser. You didn't go.
I can appreciate that. Sure. Yeah. So, so your project, your thesis. This is thesis project. We're gonna. What would we see in the gallery? What would we experience when we see it in the fall? What are you gonna present there?
So my display was basically going to be two really large posters. One was the brand guide for the app because I think it's really important to see the amount of branding that goes into a project like this. So all the symbol sets, the different um, areas that you input your information into, buttons, click states, things like that. And then the second large poster is what you're seeing on Chris's screen right now, the beauty shots of the actual prototype. And then on the wall would also be the actual iPad with the video of my prototype running. So you'd be able to put on headphones and hear the music that's playing.
All right. And so, can you talk maybe a little bit more about? I noticed in your notes it says emotional reactions to photography. Can you explain a little bit about that? What that means?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things that I always thought about photo was that it kind of evokes an emotion with the viewer. Um, so how I kind of did some research for this was I conducted a survey. I got about 130 responses actually, and kind of asked people the way they listen to music, if they use streaming services, how many hours a day do they listen to music. Very small percentage was up in that 10 plus hours, me being one of those people. Um, and then I gave them a set of photos that I've taken that were kind of matched with an emotion. So the interface uses anxious, happy, sad, angry, etc. for those options. And I, like I said, put this survey out for people. I also brought these images to class, and my classmates kind of helped me narrow them down and chose the ones that kind of evoked those main emotions the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
and
so,
then it goes through a sequence. If you watch the app, that the user would choose them, and then it would explain to them what those photos could potentially mean about your feeling, and then it recommends music based.
okay. And so I can't recall if you said it. So where did the images come from? Where did the photography come from? Is that something you generated? Is it stock photography, or how does that?
It's all my photography. So I kind of went through my catalog of images that I've basically been making for, I don't know, I think I went back to 2016. So probably the amount of time I've been in college, 4 years of work, and sifted through them and basically made a decision about what I thought those images belonged to, and then brought them to other people and had them give me their opinions.
Mhm. Very cool. Uh, so you mentioned a prototype. So can you
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit about how what does that mean? What tools did you use, or is there anything different that people might not know about and how you created this project?
Sure. So I started in Illustrator symbols, and then I brought them into Adobe XD, which is a platform to design user experience. Um, so I kind of made a library within there of all of my work and made the interactions, like linking things together. It's kind of hard to explain, I guess. You know what I mean.
Right, but you use a tool. So is it
Yeah.
so it's a prototype so that it's not a fully functional app, but something we can play with and kind of understand.
Yeah, so it's functional based on I created these user flows, which is an example of what someone would be doing to use it to show proof of concept
Mhm.
based on my survey data. So after I recorded me using this prototype in XD, I took the video and I put it into Adobe Premiere so I can add all of the sound effects because XD is not as advanced yet that I could add full length songs into it. And for me, it wouldn't mean the same thing if you couldn't hear the music. So
Ah,
kind of used a combination of tools. And I was able to learn Premiere by doing that. I hadn't used that in a long time.
oh, cool. You used it before making video?
Yeah, in high school, I used it like for one project. And to be honest, the interface then was terrible. So I didn't know how to use it. So I was slightly nervous going into it.
Hey, who's this Michelle Gordon 227?
That's my mom.
Any mom that throws up the horns in the comments, that's respect right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, both of them are. They're very supportive. My dad actually just built me this really beautiful desk, and I'm sitting in my new studio talking to all of you.
that's
So
great. We got about a minute and a half left. You just mentioned a studio, your dad building you something. So can you talk a little bit about how you've been working remotely and and dealing with work, still being creative but engaging with your classes? What's your experience been like through all this?
sure. I mean, I have to say, in the beginning, I was very like distraught because my routine was destroyed, and I am very structured at school because I've always am doing something. So in the beginning, I was kind of like, ugh, I don't know what to do. And then I kind of got into the flow of it, but I was working and sleeping in my bedroom. So that was probably not the best for me because my bed was right there. I just wanted to get in it like every 5 minutes. So moving to a new space for the last day has been great. I felt so much more productive, but now it's over. So
Yeah, we got a few more days.
Yeah.
So where are you located these days? Not in Albany, not at Peacock. Where are you?
Unfortunately, not in Peacock. I'm in Millbrook, New York, which is about 15 minutes from Poughkeepsie.
Okay, great. Well, it was great talking to you.
Hey,
Good to
Chris.
see you. I'm going to see you all next week, so we'll touch base
Oh,
then.
wait.
Yeah. Have a good night. Be
Bye.
safe.
Thanks, you too.
All right, where's Elena?